Xbox had their developer direct showcase today, and it had deep dives into a couple games that audiences have been waiting for and two new games for the first time. The two new games being Kiln, which looks like a Mario Party type game that lets you create your character, which is a pot, and the other was a game surprisingly for me from Game Freak called Beast of Reincarnation. I'm sure if you're into the style of the game, it probably looks good, but not my thing. Racing fans got a look at the next Forza Horizon in Japan with beautiful cars and even more beautiful scenery. RPG fans finally got a massive update on the long-awaited fourth installment in the Fable franchise. It showed enough of it that it actually got me interested in the game. I've never finished a Fable game, so I don't have the attachment others do, but this one I'm going to follow until release. At the end of the hour-long showcase, I just found myself asking one question. Why would I get a Game Pass subscription today? Subscription models only work if they have people keeping their subscriptions month after month, and they need to be bringing in new customers all of the time. These showcases aren't cheap. These studios aren't cheap. They paid to have a crew take their equipment, go to the studios, and pull people from their work so they could advertise these games. The first Play Anywhere Day 1 on Game Pass title releasing shown today is in May. It is January. So if I'm a car guy and I love racing games, sure, maybe I sub for $30 in May so I can check out Horizon. But if I'm not subscribing until the spring or even autumn. I canceled my Game Pass subscription when they upped it from $20 a month to $30 a month. It made me reevaluate the time I actually spent gaming on Game Pass. It was well below half of my gaming time in 2025. It used to make sense because it was better than spending $70 for all of the games I was going to play, but with the indie explosion and the best games of the year releasing for $20 and $40, the economics of Game Pass makes less and less sense, especially at the $360 a year pre-tax. So the showcase ends, and I think there's really three different pools of people in here. The first is the people we already discussed and will subscribe when their desired game actually releases. The second group is the people who were never going to subscribe and they'll just buy their games on Steam or just won't buy these titles at all. And the third group is the people I think Microsoft is hoping is the largest. These are the people who have never been subscribers or previous subscribers that wonder what is currently available on Game Pass. Is there anything for me? Maybe if there are a few games on there I haven't played yet, I could sub right now and start playing before my other titles release. So let's take a look at Game Pass today in late January 2025. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion on what's currently available. All right, so here we are at the front page of Game Pass, taking a look at what they have available. Now, the important thing to remember here is the first game is not releasing until May. So you're going to have to get your subscription that goes from January to February, February to March, and then March until April, April into May. And then your subscription would re-up again in May because it's the end of January and that game comes out in the second half of May. So you would be paying again from May until June. That's a long time. That's 5 months. That's a lot of months to say, okay, I'm committing to Game Pass today. So taking a look at the recently added. So these are not the games that have released recently. This is just what they've added recently. Death Stranding, which is a very old game. You'd be able to probably get that as like a $20 purchase on Steam, probably during one of their sales. I know that they did just do the director's cut right before the sequel came out, but still. Star Wars Outlaws on here because Ubisoft had that new partnership with Microsoft. Also did not sell well at the beginning, had a lot of issues that apparently a lot of them have been cleaned up. Quarantine Zone, a $20 game, so it's cheaper than what you would be paying for your Game Pass subscription for the month, but this game's kind of small and short, so this is probably just like a game that you play for the week. So if you can stack 4 games that are small like this within a month, then you're definitely getting your money's worth for that subscription. Assassin's Creed Mirage, another Ubisoft partner game that it's added in here. Digging a Hole, which was a small indie game that kind of popped off for a little bit. Nothing here. Routine, I've heard, is a really good game, but not into the horror genre myself. Then it's just showing off some all the Doom titles that it's got because it's got all of the ZeniMax games. Showing picks for me. This is based off of what I've played on Game Pass. Oblivion. I'm not surprised that that's the first one it's trying to make me play based off my time with Fallout and the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Outer Worlds 2, I absolutely loved the first Outer Worlds. I don't know if I paid for that one or not. I might have played that through Game Pass. City Skylines 2, I did play through Game Pass, but it tried to melt my CPU, so I moved on from it. No Man's Sky is a game I did install before I unsubscribed from Game Pass, but never got around to playing it, and now would have to buy it through Steam. The Division 2 I own on Xbox. I've heard they've done a lot of good things with like updating this game and very excited for the Division 3. I don't know that I would reinstall it on my PC. I'd probably just play it on my Xbox, hoping that my saves are still there and my character and all my equipment. Age of Empires 4 is a game I played a ton of through Game Pass. And yeah, it's picking Assassin's Creed for me because I've played every game except for this one in the Assassin's Creed franchise. Clover Pit being on here is cool. That's another one of those indie games. It's kind of like Balatro, but with gambling. So that's cool. Anno 1800, I played a ton of that on Steam. Then it's just showing off the publishers that they've partnered with here, Ubisoft. All the Fallout games, got to make sure that they have. I'm actually surprised it's all the way down here considering the show is currently on. I'm surprised that that's not up here where Doom is. I think there's a mistake having it all the way down here. But they do have the entire Fallout lineup, including Fallout 76. Okay. Then down here, it's just kind of showing you the pricing that you can pay for it. It's really stupid that they don't have a $1 option for the Ultimate. I guess I understand why, but offering the other two for $1 but not Ultimate, I don't know. Then it's just showing some of the top rated games, the trending now. The most important thing to look at here, in my opinion, is the recently added. This is the stuff that just got here. Death Stranding is a very old game. I've never heard of this Mio thing. I'm pretty sure that Ninja Gaiden is a very recently released title, but it's a side-scroller game. It's not a 3D, big game. Star Wars Outlaws wasn't that middle of 2025, so not really a recently released game. Quarantine Zone was recently released. I'm not sure about these other games. Little Nightmares, I don't know when that was released. Mirage, I know that was years ago. Bratz, okay. You got all these smaller games. These are your filler games in between your big blockbuster titles. Routine, I know that released, I'm pretty sure late in 2025. So yeah, there are some games that have released within maybe Q4 of 2025 or something more recent like that. Outer Worlds 2. So this one released so long ago that it's not even actually in the recently added, but that was definitely late 2025. Oblivion was second half of 2025. To get the most value out of your $30 a month right now is you have to have not played any of these games because they've added all these old games. I mean, even Fallout 4 is so old now. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, if you really needed to play the Fallout games, this might be a better option. I don't know what the games go for on Steam versus, paying, if it takes you 90 days to get through all the Fallout games because that's the only thing you play, maybe that's better, but that doesn't sound worth it. I think it's probably going to be cheaper on Steam, especially with how often they run sales on there where you can buy every title and then you just technically own it. As long as Steam is still around. And the other thing is clicking on Activision, it's not even all of where is COD 4? Where is the original Modern Warfare 2? Where is it Call of Duty World at War? I never understood why they never brought in these older Call of Duty titles. So the question now is, would I come back? No, definitely not in January 2025. I wouldn't come back before the release of Forza Horizon for sure. Even if I did want to play that game, which I probably won't. The thing for me right now is I'm still loving Arc Raiders that I paid $40 for in October. And that was the entirety of my gaming in November and December. Essentially the entirety of it. I was obsessed with the game. I'm still playing it a ton with my friends in January. So if I would have had an Xbox Game Pass subscription for the month of November, December, January, I would have wasted $90. On top of that, during the Steam Winter Sale, I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Cyberpunk for essentially $40 each before tax. On top of the Arc Raiders situation, I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Cyberpunk, both for about $40. So essentially, whenever my playing of Arc Raiders slows down, I have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is probably 80 hours if I'm doing everything like I want to. Cyberpunk, I don't even know how much time is spent in that game, but maybe minimum 40, another 60. That's going to be another month. So there's 2 more months that I'm not getting Game Pass. That takes me into the summer. And they haven't really announced a game that I'm super interested in the summer. The only one that they announced was Fable, and that's autumn. They didn't even give a specific, it's probably going to be late autumn. Oh, and I just remembered Marathon releases in March, and that's looking so much better than the first time I played it, which is again $40. So if I'm playing Marathon, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Cyberpunk after that, while probably still mixing in Arc Raiders, there's no way that I subscribe to Game Pass in 2026. So really the moral of the story for me is there was no reason to impulse sub to Game Pass after the developer showcase today. They don't have a game that they shadow drop. They don't have a game that's releasing in 2 weeks where I can tell myself, okay, well, I'll subscribe today and I'll find some games that I can play here and there, for the next 2 weeks until that game comes out. And then I can pre-install the game that's releasing in 2 weeks. That way it's ready on the first day. And then I can just play straight through and continue my subscription until I'm finished with that game. And by the time I'm finished with that game, hopefully something else is releasing that keeps me on the platform. In my opinion, if you're going to charge a premium monthly price, $30, when you have games launching at $40, does anybody else have a subscription that is $30? How much is my Netflix subscription? I think it's just under 30. I only keep that for my wife. I'm gonna have to get a different wife. But anyways, if you're gonna be charging a premium price like that, I think you have to be dropping bangers every month. I think they need to be dropping a big title every month that is pulling their subscribers off the game they're currently playing onto another one. They kind of tried that this year with Obsidian because they released Avowed, Grounded 2, and the Outer Worlds 2, all from one studio. I guess they're doing that with all of their studios, considering that's what they're having Playground Games do with Forza Horizon 6, and now after that, Fable. Unfortunately, you don't get that from Xbox's studios. You get games that are good, but they don't really have anything that really holds you in my opinion. They've got these studios that they have released multiple games a year. Somehow Obsidian is able to release Avowed, Grounded 2, and the Outer Worlds 2. All three were major releases out of one studio in 1 year. And that at least kept games coming to the platform. But what else? They had Call of Duty, but it was the worst Call of Duty probably ever. It's one of the first Call of Duties I've skipped since, it is the first Call of Duty I've skipped since Modern Warfare 2019. But before that, I had skipped 2 Call of Duty titles since Call of Duty 3. The problem with Xbox's studios is you have games that are made by people who have studio heads that are charged with worrying about what it's doing to the stock price, because those people are being managed by people who are even more responsible for what's going on with Microsoft's stock price. And I know, you're going to say, oh, Kiln is supposed to raise the stock price. You know what I mean. You know that Halo Combat Evolved is being remastered again without multiplayer, with added stuff added in, and releasing on PlayStation because they have completely fucked up how they run that IP. This is the only choice that they have left. I don't know. I was a huge Game Pass defender forever. From the beginning, I joined Game Pass and I loved it, and all the games that I had access to playing on it. And sure, I bought occasional games that weren't on Game Pass, or I was always saying, oh, I'll just wait till it comes on Game Pass because there was something else I was playing and I was waiting to finish it. Because of Game Pass, I was able to play Expedition 33, which instantly made it into the top 5 of my games before I even finished it. We've tried games because of Game Pass that didn't stick with us as a friend group, but at least we were able to try them for no additional cost. The problem is just that $30 a month price tag. I can't stomach spending $30 a month to maintain a subscription that I'm not using. I don't know. At this point, I think I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing since last year when I canceled my Game Pass subscription, is I'm going to continue looking for sales on Steam and then play the games when I can. Major releases will come and they'll go. Some of them I'll pick up, some of them I won't. Some of them I could have played on Game Pass, but I'm not going to spend $30 just to spend $40 a month later because, oh, well, I don't really want to keep my Game Pass subscription, because at that point I'm paying more money to pay for the game that I could have just spent on a one-time price. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. If for some reason you found this video and you are still here, thank you. That's insane. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you feel like it. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. And that's all I got on Game Pass.